This isn't just a fighter jet, it's a flying supercomputer, and it's the single most expensive weapon ever created in human history. Over its lifetime, the program will cost around $2 trillion. Its pilots wear a helmet that costs $400,000 each, a helmet that lets them see straight through the airplane, as if it were made of glass. One version of it can hover in midair and land straight down like a helicopter. And there are now over 1,000 of them flying for America and its allies around the world. This is the F-35 Lightning II, and it might be the most misunderstood aircraft ever built, because the F-35's greatest weapon isn't its speed, it isn't its missiles, it's information. Let me explain. The story starts in the 90s with one of the most ambitious ideas in aviation history. Instead of building separate, expensive jets for the Air Force, the Navy, and the Marines, the Pentagon asked a wild question. What if we built one aircraft that could do it all? One jet in 3 flavors, sharing the same core design. And that's exactly what Lockheed Martin delivered. The F-35A, the standard version that takes off and lands on runways for the Air Force. The F-35C, a bigger winged version built to launch off aircraft carriers for the Navy. And then there's the showstopper, the F-35B. This one can take off from a tiny strip and then land straight down, hovering in midair like it's defying gravity. It does this with a massive hidden lift fan behind the cockpit that blasts thrust straight down. Watching a 60,000-pound fighter jet hover in place and gently touch down is one of the most jaw-dropping sights in all of aviation. But here's the thing. As impressive as that is, it's not what makes the F-35 special. This is. The F-35 is a stealth aircraft, so it's already hard to detect on radar, but its real superpower is something called sensor fusion. The jet is covered in sensors, radar, cameras, listening devices, all scanning in every direction at once. Older fighters would flood the pilot with a dozen confusing screens and readouts. The F-35 does something radically different. Its computers take every piece of information, blend it all together, and hand the pilot one single, clean, simple picture of the entire battlefield. Friendly forces, threats, aircraft 50 miles away, all of it laid out clearly. The pilot doesn't just fly the plane, they see everything, understand everything, and can share that picture instantly with other jets, ships, and troops on the ground. That's why people call the F-35 the quarterback of the sky. It doesn't just fight, it runs the entire game. And then there's that helmet, maybe the coolest piece of technology on the entire aircraft. Forget the old green displays from the fighter movies you grew up with. The F-35's $400,000 helmet is a custom-built augmented reality display fitted to each individual pilot. 6 cameras are mounted around the jet, and the helmet stitches their views together in real time. So when the pilot looks down at the floor, they don't see the floor. They see straight through the aircraft, all the way to the ground below. Look at an enemy, and the system can lock onto it just by staring. It has night vision built right in. It is literally X-ray vision for fighter pilots. Now, none of this came easy. The F-35 program was hammered for years over delays, technical problems, and that eye-watering cost. Critics called it a disaster, a money pit, and for a while they had plenty of ammunition. But here's where the story turned around. Lockheed Martin pushed through the problems, and today the F-35 has become the absolute backbone of American and Allied air power. Over 1,000 have been built. More than 15 allied nations fly it, from Britain to Japan to Israel. It's now the most produced stealth aircraft on the planet. And unlike its cousin, the F-22 Raptor, which America refuses to sell to anyone, the F-35 was designed from day one to be shared with allies, quietly linking the air forces of the free world into one connected network. That may turn out to be its greatest strength of all. So think about what the F-35 really is. Not just a jet, a stealth aircraft, a sensor platform, a data hub, and a force multiplier, all rolled into one machine that 3 branches of the U.S. military and over a dozen nations depend on. It hovers, it sees through itself, it runs the battlefield, and it's expected to stay at the tip of the spear all the way into the 2040s and beyond. the F-35 Lightning II, the $2 trillion flying computer that quietly became the most important aircraft in the sky.